Welcome back to another sober morning reset. On this channel, we help you reset, rewire, and reclaim your life from alcohol one day, one win, one habit at a time. I am Aaron, the Sober Life Coach. I'm a coach, author, and I've been sober for the past 7 years. And this is your daily coaching session for Sober Morning Reset. If you like this channel, please like, share, and subscribe because we do this every single day. Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 rules for long-lasting sobriety. Want sobriety that actually lasts. This is exactly how some of the things I would use, I would do, some of the rules I have in my life to live alcohol free for the past 7 years. I don't even think about alcohol. Someone actually emailed me the other day and said, "Do you even think about alcohol anymore?" And I said, "No, I don't." Occasionally, I have these thoughts like, "Hey, a drink would be nice," but I know that's not who I am. I'm a non-drinker. Alcohol is a poison. It's disgusting to me. I want you guys to get to the same point where you don't need alcohol in your life, and your life is so good, so fun, so exciting without alcohol that you wouldn't even bother drinking that addictive poison anymore. So that's where I want to get you guys to, and these are kind of the rules I have in my life and how I got here, so I can help you guys with it. Because this is not a dry January, it's not a 30-day white knuckle. This is real change that sticks, that lasts for the long-lasting sobriety, and it's all about eliminating that need to drink. Because if you quit drinking, alcohol's just being a solution in your life for so long, and if you just get rid of it, you'd have this void here in your life where you think alcohol is the solution to your problems. But if you eliminate the underlying needs, if you eliminate the habits, if you become a better person, if you become a better sober version of yourselves, that's where this change is going to happen. And that's rule number one. And this whole process for me was identity first. It's be, do, have, not have, be, do, right? Most people think that they can quit drinking, which is the having, right? And then if they can quit drinking and then they can have a sober life, but that's not how you should do it. You should do it with become the sober person you want to become. The actions will follow, and then you can have a sober lifestyle. Trying to stop drinking keeps you in the fight, right? Becoming someone who doesn't need to drink sets you free. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Eliminating that need to drink. You want to become a non-drinker. You don't want to have alcohol as a solution, because when we say we quit, it gives us this FOMO, like we fear of missing out. It gives us this looking at other people like they're normal people, they're normal drinkers, and we have this kind of mindset that we're not normal. Something wrong with us, and that's not how change happens. And I know for me and a lot of people I help, the change happens when you become someone who doesn't need to drink anymore, become that non-drinker. And every action you take is a vote for the version of who you are becoming, right? Start voting for that hangover-free you. Start voting for that version of you who wakes up proud, wakes up without the anxiety, the shame, the guilt, and wakes up with a passion and a purpose for life. And that's exactly what identity level change is, and that's exactly how I did it. So like I said, here's the kind of framework that I used. It'd be become the kind of person that doesn't need a drink. That's your identity. You want to change at that identity level. Do what that new version of you would do. Take the actions that the sober version of you would take. If the sober version of you say, okay, I want to be the sober version of me wakes up proud. They spend time with their kids. They connect with their wife. They have a passion for business, whatever it is. Then you want to start stepping into that and start taking these daily actions that proves to you that you can do this, that you are becoming that person, and then you can have long lasting sobriety as a result. Because if you change in the identity level, and then you're going to become the kind of person that does it. It's like when you exercise. If you just start exercising or working out, you might get some results, but you'll always fall back to your identity. But if you become the kind of person who exercises, you become the kind of person who shows up for their workouts, become the kind of person who tracks their calories and does all these things, then you start having the results of that, and it's lasting because it was an identity level. You became that person, you became that identity. And that's exactly what sobriety is like for me, or at least it was like for me. I became that sober version of myself, and I no longer need alcohol in my life because it's no longer a solution. So I always go from the be, do, have identity first change when I think about sobriety, and that's becoming the kind of person that doesn't need a drink. Do what that new person version of you would do, and then you can have long lasting sobriety as a result. Number two, master your mornings. If you wake up anxious, foggy, full of regret, your day is already lost. Mornings are so important because a lot of the time, for me anyways, I would wake up, I'd be full of guilt, shame, and I spend so much wasted time just getting out of bed, thinking about what I did last night, all those things that came with it. But if I wake up clear and proud, you show up stronger everywhere. One hangover-free morning can change everything for you. I remember the first time I had a hangover-free morning, or at least when I noticed that I was actually feeling better, it was about 2 weeks into my sobriety. my alcohol-free life. And and I thought to myself, wow, I remember what I did last night. I was able to wake up, have breakfast with the kids, watch some TV with them, have a good day. And my whole day started without that guilt, that shame and anxiety. And that's when everything shifted. I realized I need to have a better morning routine. I love these sober mornings. I love the way I start my day, and that's how I want to do it. So master your mornings, and master your sober life. And then the third thing I would say is shift your state. Cravings aren't cravings, they're just signals. We talk about this a lot in the Sober Morning Reset program. How cravings are not, they're not a command, they're a signal, right? And if you don't want to drink, you want a different state. We're doing everything to change your state, right? We want to become happier, we want to become we want to become more peaceful, we want more presence, we want to shift in our state. And we think that alcohol is going to bring that shift. We want less anxiety, we think alcohol is going to bring us less anxiety, and that's a state shift. Learn to change that and alcohol loses its grip. Learn to change your state with other things like meditation or exercise or connection or having a meaningful observing project or all these six sober habits we talk about. That's how you change everything. So shift your state and shift your life, especially your sober life. So when you have a craving, yes, it's a response to maybe some emotional issue that's going on or whatever you think alcohol is a solution to. But you can shift that by changing your state, by changing the way you respond to it, and then you can move forward. So always remember, shift your state, because you're actually wanting a change in state when you have alcohol, and there's something causing that issue for you, and you want to figure that out. So the Dare to Be Sober framework is like always. If you've been watching these videos, if you haven't, if you're new to this, it's disrupt the pattern, ask what you're really needing, reframe the false reward, execute a move your sober future self would be proud of. This is identity in motion. So disrupt, ask, reframe, and execute. You can take this with you anywhere. Write that down, print it, post it, put it somewhere. That's how we get through things in the moment here on this channel. Is disrupting, asking, reframing, and executing. So how do we do that for today's coaching lesson? Well, you don't need more willpower. You need a new way to lead yourself. That starts with how you wake up and what you decide to be. So if you wake up with shame, guilt, anxiety, all these things that come with being hungover, then you're going to be you're going to be that hungover self, that hungover you during the whole day. That whole thing's going to set it up for you to be that. But if you wake up hangover free, you become that hangover free you. You become that hangover free you that's looking towards the future, that's excited about things, and it's not going to happen right away. Your brain's going to take a little bit of time to recalibrate and stuff. But as you move forward with this and you get these more free, hangover free things in your life, these more days, then you're going to be able to build on that. And then I know if you've had a hangover free Sunday, or maybe you've had a hangover free Saturday, you've woke up, you went the whole weekend without drinking, and you wake up on Monday, you feel better, you're more rested, you're more energetic. That's because alcohol doesn't actually give you proper sleep. It takes away things from your life. But when you don't have that alcohol in your system, you start getting rid of it, you start waking up and feeling better. So definitely not about willpower. It's about waking up hangover free and having that purpose. So dare to be sober reflection today is disrupt and catch sleep before it owns you, right? And we're going to work on this is from rule number 2, mastering your mornings, master your mind. Am I acting from autopilot or awareness? Ask yourself that. What moment today pulled me out of alignment? What a strong sober morning have changed about today? What would that change? And in the moment, I always talk about this horizon that we're looking for. We're looking for that first hangover free morning, right? So if you're looking towards that, what's it going to look like if I have a drink? Well, it's probably going to be full of shame, guilt. Same thing, it's going to be Groundhog Day. What's it going to look like tomorrow if I don't have a drink? How's that sober morning gonna be? Am I gonna be stronger, more passionate, have more energy? Look towards that and see that in the future. So you're gonna want to do that. And when I interrupt the cycle early, I take back control of my day. Remind myself that when I interrupt the cycle early, I can take back control of my day. I can have that hangover free morning, and then I can move forward from there. So disrupt the loop before it owns you. We're going to ask, what do I actually need right now, right? So this is from rule number 3, shift your state before you shift your story. Is this really about alcohol? Is it about overwhelm, boredom, loneliness, fatigue? We have this thing in the recovery space called hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Halt, right? It means stop, think about it. Halt. Hungry? Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Uncover those things. What emotion am I avoiding? Is it something that I can just fix here, or is it maybe some trauma response or something that if you need that, good therapy, get counseling, deal with those things. They're underlying, but figure out what they are. What state am I craving? Are you craving calm, connection, energy? All those things you can get with other things: exercise, nutrition, meditation, mindfulness, connection. All these things, we can put better things in place to shift our state. And ask yourself, what am I actually needing, and what can I do about it? And every urge is a signal. I don't need a drink. I need a shift. I need to shift my state, and I want a state shift. So I need to find something else better to do with that. And then So then we're going to move on to the reframe section, right? What's the real truth here? And this is from rule number one, identity first. Who are you becoming? What version of me am I reinforcing right now if I take a drink? What version of me am I that hungover me or the hangover free me, right? Is this a vote for hungover me or hangover free me? Every time we take an action, we take a vote for who we're becoming. Are you becoming that hungover version of yourself, or are you going to becoming that hangover free version of yourself? Clear, proud, in control, right? And what story would sober me tell myself here, right? What story would I tell myself? Well, I would tell myself that I can do it. I can get through it. Look forward to the sober mornings. All those things are coming from that hangover free version of you. And I reframe it as I'm not depriving myself. I'm designing my life. I'm stepping forward. I'm moving forward, because that's going to be definitely how you want to reframe sobriety. Sobriety isn't a punishment. It's actually you moving forward, taking action on your life, and moving forward with a purposeful, passionate life, right? So, and execute, prove who you're becoming, and this is all three rules in action. What's one small thing I can do right now to act for my future self? What's one small thing you can do to act like that hangover free version of yourself today? What vote can I cast for hangover free me in the next 5 minutes? What can I do? What is it gonna? Instead of drinking, am I gonna do some mindfulness, journal? Am I gonna have connection with my family? Am I gonna start a meaningful observing project? What are you gonna do? And how do I want to wake up tomorrow morning? Right? Do you want to wake up refreshed and excited and passionate, or do you want to wake up with this guilt shame cycle? And I don't need to be. Just remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I need to act like who I'm becoming. I need to start acting like the sub version of myself. I need to start keep promises to myself, and that's how you change at a long lasting level. So that's what I got for you guys today. Those are kind of the rules I have in place for my long-lasting sobriety. I've kind of reflected on that and thought about it, and those are the top three things those rules that I have in my life, and I want to share those with you. So, anyways, thank you so much for letting me be your coach, your guide. Life is better on the sober side. There's going to be a sober morning reset 30-day challenge, a new one starting October 1st. We're going to have a Facebook group. We're going to have all sorts of awesome things. So look forward to that. I'll be sending it out if you're part of the email list, then I can send that out to you. If not, you can join the email list at sober6.com/kickstart coach. There's going to be lots of new exciting stuff happening there too. There's a free 7-day challenge, all sorts of great stuff there. So you can check me out there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening and let me be your coach, you guide. Now, life is so much better on the sober side. I will see you guys in the next video.